Hola, soy Julio César Chávez.
That's lights out, baby. Lights out all day.
This is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a one-hour television spectacular.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
We gon' know. I got eyes and ears everywhere. I got friends all over the world, man.
Who gives a shit with White? He's a piece of crap.
With a tear in my eye.
Fight Net Radio, Lee Honish, Andrew Labouche, Miguel Antonio Barragan, bringing you the wonderful world of sports. So let's jump right into it. We have a lot to talk about. Would you guys like the new format or the old format? You can have your choice on this today. You can decide, Andrew. Old format, new format.
Man, Lee, it matters what story you're going to go with first. You know, we have breaking news this morning. I don't know if you got it out of Ohio.
Go with the breaking news, Andrew.
Oh, it'd be so good if you had it, though.
I don't. It's if I've been on Fight News pulling my stories. So you tell me.
Adrien Broner was sent to jail this morning.
Okay, that is breaking news, and I don't know about it. So tell me about it.
He was in court. He got put in for contempt to court for not paying a $800,000 judgment that he was supposed to pay in December. The judge basically said they gave him way too many chances to pay this off. Broner then said he only had $13 to his name. He's broke. I told you, Lee, you would have loved it. I just seen it, Lee. I seen it earlier. I didn't know if this was a previous arrest. Hey, you know, the guy's been.
Now you're making me Google stuff. Hold on. It's not on Fight News yet, so. Wow, I put in Broners.
He was name dropping, I guess, to stay out of jail. You know, they were saying like he had friends like Al Heyman and
jail. The jig is up.
Oh man, how much money did he say he have? How much money was it?
$13.
$13.
It's on your screen.
What about all
There
that
we
jewelry,
go.
homeboy? What about all that jewelry?
Continue to decide. All right, boxing's Adrien Broner thrown in jail after judge holds him in contempt in assault lawsuit. All right, let's see what we got. Cleveland, Ohio. A judge in Cleveland, Ohio, Monday tossed professional boxer Adrien Broner in jail after holding him in contempt of court as part of a civil lawsuit filed by a woman he assaulted in 2018, which we've covered to death. Yeah. Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court Judge Nancy Margaret Russo found the 31-year-old Broner failed to cooperate with multiple deadlines she set for him and handed over documents and other evidence showing why he was not able to pay more than $800,000 judgment the judge ordered him to pay the woman in December. Russo cited an Instagram video posted this week showing Broner handling large stacks of money after saying in an October 5th court filing that he had just over $13 in cash. Russo ordered Broner to remain in jail until he provides complete and truthful information about his finances to the woman's attorney.
Damn.
Subo Chandra and the Chandra law firm. Mr. Broner has continually defied every court order I've given, Russo said during the hearing. The jig is up. Russo set Wednesday hearing for Broner and his attorney, Stanley Jackson, to show that they are complying with the case, and Cuyahoga County Sheriff deputies placed Broner in handcuffs and let him out of the courtroom. Broner, who last boxed in 2019, said he is preparing for a fight scheduled in January that will bring him a significant purse, and he expects to be able to pay the judgment in full after the fight. The order is the latest legal problem that the once world champion fighter faced. There's actual video.
Oh, yes.
Oh, let's take a look, shall we? There we go. We don't even need the audio. What do you mean? I got $13.
Yeah.
I got $13.
Judge,
no,
I beat
really.
that boy.
I got $13.
I beat that boy, Judge. I beat that boy.
I got $13. I understand. I beat her up, and you found me guilty of that. But I only have $13.
It's like on goddamn, Judge. On goddamn,
I've only got $13. What could he theoretically be saying for over 5 minutes to the judge? Do we just get the video?
He has no money. People like Gervonta Davis and Leonard Ellerby, Al Heyman have been sending him money. Is the only way he's getting by. I like how he.
Here we go. Oh, so
I like
good.
how he still managed to bring a gold watch to the.
Yes.
If you guys
And
look,
if I'm not mistaken, he's wearing
Emptying
like a
his
Louis Vuitton
pockets.
belt.
He's emptying his pockets already. He's familiar with the process.
yeah,
I
that's
highly
why I
recommend
didn't know
to
if this was new.
go to fight.net.radio on Facebook, and you will get to see this video. I will make sure to post today's show video. Way to go, Adrien, for proving to. Oh, they gave him the 2 cuffs. That's when they like you. I mean, 2 cuffs is very nice. I'm not saying I have personal experience with that, but 2 cuffs is very nice of them to do.
He
Wow.
fought Manny Pacquiao for, I believe, $5 million.
Now he's broke.
Mhm.
Today he has
January.
13.
Mhm.
Broke as a stick. It's
Very
good,
sad.
Andrew.
Very
Very,
sad.
very good.
The fall
Fine
from
job.
grace. The fall from grace. And
Yes.
the
Let's hear
downward
let's hear it
spiral
for Andrew.
continues.
Welcome to
Oh
Fight
my
Net Radio.
gosh. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. My name's Lee Honish. That is Andrew Labouche. That is Fight Fiend Miggs. We'll start off with you, Miggs. Why did you go to Northern California?
Okay. Basically for Halloween, but I have family over there. My brother-in-law works works in an oil refinery, Chevron oil refinery, and he's up there for a couple of months for work. So I was like, hey, come on down. I'm like, hey, it's not a bad idea. So swung by, well, actually my sister, his wife, came down to Vegas. Then we flew out of here and spent the weekend over there with them.
Very nice.
And Andrew, how was your Halloween?
Very good. We went walking around. Everyone in Tracy in our neighborhood did a good job of just getting through Halloween. People were putting tables out with candy bags. We had some tubes. They were dropping them through tubes. Everyone had masks on. It was pretty cool. The kids got a full bucket, went about 5 blocks, and said, let's go home. I'm tired. I was like, yeah. I got home to see the Inoue fight. I was home in time. Yeah, it was a great night. I'm telling you.
Well, for those of you who follow me on social media, well, why don't I just show it, since it's quite the adventure that I went on. I started my week in London, England, Andrew. I went out there on Thursday or Wednesday for the final press conference, and I was fearful. Hold on, let me get to my profile. I was fearful of the COVID lockdown, right? So I smartly, and by the way, you're saying to yourself, Lee, no way you did that. Yes way, please hold. Where am I? There you go. I'm going to put it on the screen for you. I went to the weigh-ins for Chisora versus Usyk, and hold on. There you go. Eric Chisora.
Oh, yeah, you were there.
Alexander Usyk. I was there. That was on Friday, and then they were talking about lockdowns. Well, they were okay. Well, here's the thing. They were talking about lockdowns, right?
Uh-huh.
I think that's funny. I'm dressed as a fight promoter. It's very funny, actually. They were talking about lockdown, so I jumped on a plane and went on over to, yeah, you guessed it, the Alamo Dome. By the way, tickets were going for $65, Andrew, on StubHub for the general admission party-like atmosphere of watching 4 knockouts in less than 20 minutes of actual fight time. And by the way, that's actual. The actual boxing that occurred on the pay-per-view card totaled just under 30 minutes. The other 3 hours was.
You're talking about the whole card? Are you saying
the whole card? The actual whole 4-fight card. If you combined all the fighting, it was about 30 minutes. Yeah,
no bueno.
Good job, PBC.
I know that. I know that. That's a no bueno.
Wait, Andrew. After I was done at the Alamo Dome, you know what I did that was really stupid? I jumped on a plane again on my way back. God bless Southwest for not giving a shit about passing COVID. I went, that's right, you guessed it. I went to Denver, took my picture with the South Park people. Shout out to my friend Dre who met me out there. And took a picture with the South Park people at the Bronco game at Empower Field where the Chargers lost in the final 3 seconds of the game.
Yeah, I'm really not liking your Chargers in the fourth quarter anymore, Lee.
Dude, they've blown 16-point leads in the last 3 games. What the hell? They're going to have Rookie of the Year, and they've blown 3 games with 16-point leads.
Well, as soon as he realizes there's 4 quarters to a game, maybe you guys will be fine. You guys might be okay at that point.
Maybe. All right, you're all caught up on our weekend. Let's get to the fight news because I've only got about 45 minutes to cover everything before I got to head off to my next business meeting. Let's start in reverse order because I had it up a second ago. I can't believe I've lost it already. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Stall, 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 he said. I can't believe it. How did I already lose that page? Is it on here? Did I put it up here? No. Oh, well, let's just go to it right now. Well, when in doubt, just go straight to the source. We're going to reverse engineer it and cover all the fights, and we're going to cover it all the way back to past Monday because there's something happening on every day. As of right now, let's talk about in reverse order. Today, Devin Haney made the news today. I'm going to be the face of boxing, says the undefeated WBC lightweight world champion Devin the Dream Haney. 24-0 with 15 KOs, who returns to the ring on Saturday against 2004 Olympic gold medalist, two-time world champion Yurki Gamboa to take place at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel in Florida. Had Andrew to say on this? Nothing, because it's a PBC fight. So I'll start with you, Miguel.
Oh, no, this isn't PBC.
Nope.
Oh, it's DAZN. You're right. All right, we can talk about this. Andrew, Devin Haney taking on Yurki Gamboa.
This is a what do you say? A co-ed fight. Devin Haney's above. Yeah, he's above your Yurki Gamboa. You know, I don't know what to expect for Gamboa here. He has 3 defeats. They're all by TKO. He's lost like every major fight he's been in. You know, this is a showcase for Devin Haney. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I completely agree. What do you think, Miguel?
Well, I mean, it is. You know, I don't know. It's kind of. I kind of feel bad for Gamboa to some extent. You know, like his last fight was against Davis, and now he's got fucking Haney. I don't know. I realize that he's in there as an opponent, but like, god damn it, he just lost to fucking Davis for the WBA belt, and now he's got himself a WBC title shot against fucking Haney. But I mean, again, he's just an opponent. We don't think he's gonna do. I mean, I don't think Haney's gonna take him out before the 12 rounds. I feel like it's gonna go the decision. So it's one of those opponents that's going to give Haney rounds, which is kind of what we need right now. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see more of Haney. I want to see him in the ring a little bit longer, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Which takes us to our second biggest news of the current week, Andrew. Deontay Wilder speaks. For those of you who don't know, on social media, again, go to Facebook. All right, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but it's pretty fucking funny.
No, go back. It's very good.
I'm going to say where this all started. Andrew caught the tweet, and trust me when I say it, Big Baby Miller retweeting it and going, "What the fuck are you talking about?" For those of you who live under a rock, former WBC World Heavyweight Champion Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber, known as the Bombsy Squad leader, he's got enemies out there. Well, we found out officially who the enemy was from Deontay Wilder, who released a video, released a tweet. And are you guys ready for this? Deontay Wilder now lost the fight because his water was tainted by Mark Breland with muscle relaxers. Yeah, I can't make that up. If you're keeping track, because somebody actually has already made this meme. Did you post that meme, Andrew?
Yes, I did.
Excuses?
Yes.
Okay, these are some of the best excuses on the planet. So I'm going to bring this up. Again, you can go to fight.net.radio, which is our Facebook page, and you can find all of that great information. What the hell happened here? It's like our page just exploded itself. I don't know why it did that. Wow, that was so weird. Is that our picture that just ate itself? Okay, I didn't want to do that. All right, scrolling down. I got to see all these excuses because they're all so awesome. Here we go. Number 1. Brrr. Do you want a drum roll for us, Miguel? Ring walk outfit was too heavy. Number 2. Fury moved his fist down within his gloves. Number 3. Fury put a heavy object in his glove. The newest one, number 4. Water was spiked with muscle relaxer. He's gone back to that one. Number 5, Kenny Bayless was unfair. Number 6, Mark Breland was disloyal. This is hilarious, dude. I don't even know what to say. Other boxers are now giving him shit for making excuses all the time. Now he's doing slow-mos in the corner and showing evidence like he knows who assassinated Kennedy. Apparently, it was a concerted effort between the WBC, Mark Breland, Big Baby Miller, that's why he was bleeding from the ears, because of the tainted water, of course. And look, you can see the glove is coming off his hand. His hand wasn't even in the glove. Dude, he's made a video showing off the reasons why he lost the fight. That everyone cheated him.
It's bad.
What a fucking horrible champion. What a horrible man.
No, what a horrible
loser.
loser.
Oh my God, he's crying in the video.
Ass loser.
I haven't seen the video. He's literally crying. His skull was dented. His skull was dented. You can't dent a skull, you jack off. Okay, I start with you, Andrew. I've said all I can say about this ass clown. And yes, I pulled that one out of the closet. Ass clown.
I'm not going to say anything new here that's been said many times since this new tweet or video that Deontay's put out. He also did an interview where he says he's going to kill both of them. They need to put him in front of a therapist real fast. Before he gets to fight again, I think someone professionally needs to sit down with Deontay, talk to him, make sure he doesn't belong on any meds or anything. Something like a Tyson cocktail, right, where Tyson was able to fight, but he was on some medication before that. You don't want Deontay to work these things up in his mind too much and then him actually go out and punch a Breland or something out in public and actually hurt the man, because he's a lot older than Mark Breland. Younger, excuse me. Breland's older than him. You don't want anything like that to happen. It's just sad. It's sad, but it's kind of weird now. Now it's getting on the level of weird, and it might be time for someone to step up and say he needs to look at a doctor before giving him a license to fight.
Miguel?
Well, I mean, what hasn't already been said? He's a sore loser, big time. Like, he can't just, there's no shame in just saying, yes, he whooped my ass. We're talking about Tyson Fury here, the lineal champion. There's no shame in that, dude. Just take your fucking L, with your head held up high and move on or get better or improve or whatever the hell. But I mean, he's having how many of this? What's like one fucking. Six excuses. I'm counting the screen as mentioned. Yeah. 6 damn excuses. It's like, how I don't even know how the hell Kenny Bayless was being unfair. Like, has he even explained that? Like, I don't even know how he's going that. Like, he's literally pointing in every other direction than himself. He can't just be like, all right, I'll take the ass whooping like a man and move forward. It's like, man, he just can't let it go. I feel like it's really hurt his ego so bad. Like, I don't even think, I don't know if we're gonna see the same Wilder like ever again. I kind of feel like it's one of those Trinidad things.
Well, he's got a dented skull. He's got a dented skull.
Like,
I mean, you got to be a little understanding of the man. He's now
maybe we're being insensitive to the dented skull, but
that would be a bleeder, correct?
Well, as someone with a bunch of bleeders, Andrew, I would think you'd have more than a bleeder if your fucking skull was.
What do you call it, Lee? What would that be?
A fractured skull, dude.
You'd have,
Like, he's talking about a fractured skull.
Scrambled fucking brains.
I'm guessing a piece of his fucking skull matter broke off into his brain and activated a chip.
Probably swell up pretty bad.
Maybe that's where Mark Breland implanted a chip into his head while he was asleep that caused him to lose the fight. I mean, that's about where we're at this moment. The only thing we haven't heard is about a secret microchip that's been implanted in the dent in his skull.
If you had more time, I would have you ask Siri, but we don't have a lot of time, people. We can't get too far into what would happen. Yeah,
there's a lot to cover today. Also today, Fury versus KBL on December 5th. Looks like the WBC champion Tyson Fury will defend his world title against Agit KBL. And if you're thinking to yourself, hashtag MCK, you'd probably be right. This man will probably hashtag be fighting for a green card in London on December 5th. Promoter Frank Warren says, oh yeah, sure, we sent a contract. He has 1 day to sign it. What? Wow. The WBC champion basically sent an ultimatum randomly to a fighter named Kbat KBL or KTEL Greatest Hits, whatever the hell his name is.
To his
This is
defense,
so
to
fucking
his
crazy.
defense, Lee, he
Yeah.
did beat Chisora. And Chisora was in a major fight this weekend. So
Talk about that momentarily.
So he does have at least that kind of a name on his resume, right? I don't know how good it is against Fury, but he's undefeated and he has a Chisora victory. There you go.
And it was a majority decision, so one of those judges had it, or a couple of those judges. So it was a close win.
Wow.
The money was on him that night. Fuck.
I was like,
No doubt. All right, let's reverse engineer it. We're all the way back to Saturday night now. Let's get the party started. We're going to start off with the fight of the night, which was Gervonta Tank Davis knocking out Leo Santa Cruz in 6 rounds. I watched it. I was rather in shock because I thought Leo Santa Cruz was giving a ton. For those of you who live under a rock, Gervonta Tank Davis scored a brutal 6-round. It was a KTFO. Round number 6 against Leo Santa Cruz in a bout for both the WBA Super Featherweight title and the WBA Lightweight Championship on Saturday night at the Alamo Dome, which I attended in Texas. Good two-way throughout the fight. I thought Leo Santa Cruz did a remarkable job by pressing the fight from what I could watch and see of it, Andrew, until the punch. I mean, literally, I thought Leo was in this all the way, and I thought he had hurt Gervonta just before that. And then literally from out of the blue, Gervonta Davis hauls up and launches a monster punch that stole the soul and ended the career of Leo Santa Cruz. And for those of you who think I'm crazy, you cannot take a punch like that and expect to be the same fighter ever again. I start with you, Andrew Lavache.
Listen, going into the fight, he's 4 divisions. This was his 4th division moving up. The guy's really never had, Santa Cruz I'm talking about, has really never had power as a bantamweight. I didn't like his chances going here. The fight kind of went exactly the way I was planning it would go. Listen, they said he had success. I didn't watch it because I didn't give Santa Cruz a lot of chances here on winning, and he only went to the 6th round. He didn't even make it half the fight, so that's not worth the pay-per-view. And the fact that Lee said that you guys only got 30 minutes of boxing in 4-hour telecast kind of shows you the matchmaking that they were doing that night. I didn't like the fight. This was they sent him to the slaughterhouse, man. Like this guy had hand problems. He's always wiggling his hands. He can't knock anyone out. I swear, I think he has like 2 knockouts in fucking 5 years, 4 years, something like that. That it's not there. And he's going up against one of the hardest hitting lightweights there is, or super featherweights there is. I mean, how is this? And then another thing is his defense. In a lot of his fights, they're wars. He's taking hella punches. The only thing that was an edge was when we brought up the weight. I mean, we were literally talking about this fight might be close because one guy might die on the scale. That's the only reason why we gave Santa Cruz a shot was because of weight. You take away the weight issue, we've seen what I knew what was going to happen. Santa Cruz was not going to go 12 rounds. He didn't go 6. So terrible end to Santa Cruz's career. Wish they would have did that a little bit better for him. I hope they got pay-per-view hits, but let me tell you, there's not one video out there on this fight. I seen highlights of the knockout. Great. Everyone.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just getting word right now from we're being joined by Al Heyman. Hey.
Hey, she was in the news. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Hey. Listen, guys, that did 100,000 views already. Back to you, Lee.
Sure.
I'm sorry, Andrew.
No streaming, no streaming, and no fight afterwards. See, most of the time on these fights, you'll get a fight up on Facebook for a few hours, right? Someone will download something.
All the fights were so short on the rebroadcast because we were killing time in the arena, right? They were rebroadcasting in the arena the fights from earlier to keep everybody around. That's what they were doing. They kept saying the next fight's coming out, the next fight's coming out, the next fight's coming out.
Was not impressed with Tank. Listen, the knockout is what it is, right? Great knockout. You want to give him an award for knockout of the year? That's fine. As far as where he's at, In the division, nowhere. You beat a fucking dude who moved 4 divisions up, and this was his first time fighting there. Like, this isn't like fucking huge on Davis. This is not what Mayweather's saying. He's the A side of a Teofimo Lopez fight now. Come on, that's outrageous. This guy beats Lomachenko, the king of the division. You take on someone moving 4 divisions up that really never had power. People, 19 knockouts in 30-something fights, 37 fights. You don't really have power because in your first 20, they're giving you nothing. But, guys, you should be able to knock out when you're the champ. When you're the kid with the future, they're matchmaking your whole first part of your career basically for you. He was not putting people down. His pressure, his relentless punching, throwing a lot of punches did it. But, no, I'm not impressed. Listen, I want him to fight Miguel Berchelt. I seen he wore the Mexican trunks. I got to say something about that. That looked a little Creedish to me. It looked like, a Rocky movie we've seen before. Don't do the same thing your fucking promoter did. What are you guys, stupid? You think we want to see the same thing over again? You didn't sell that one. No one, that didn't strike a nerve on anyone. No one saying, I want Tank Davis to be destroyed. He was disrespecting the Mexican flag. So I didn't do that against Miguel Berchelt. Why don't they say Miguel Berchelt's name? Why does anyone ever say Berchelt? If he's the bad one in the division, the star, don't talk about Lopez when Lopez might be going to 140. Talk about fucking Miguel Berchelt. Go ahead, Miguel.
Well, I mean, I was definitely impressed. He did. I'm talking about Davis. I mean, Davis made the weight, right? I didn't think he was going to make the weight. He made the weight. He did strip down,
Scary.
completely down.
Yeah, he looked scary.
He looked scary, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, we got him." So I thought, I was like, "We got him." Fuck yeah. No, he comes in here and then mops the floor with Leo. And to Leo's credit, he did do quite a good job. I think it was he was only down by. I mean, it was only the 6th round, but it was like 3 rounds to 2 at this point, so it was still relatively close early. And Leo was doing a good job with the threes. He would do like the jab straight right, and then come back with a jab with a second jab, and he would land that third punch on Gervonta, and it seemed to land every single time. But he has no pop, so really he wasn't able to ever. I don't remember seeing Davis ever stunned or anything. I certainly would have liked to have seen Davis go into the later rounds, but to his credit, he made sure it didn't get there. I would have liked to have seen how he would have been in the later rounds, even coming in at 130. But what else can we say? He took him out. I was thinking, all right, cool. If it goes this way, because up until this point, Leo was able to take Gervonta's shots. He's landed a few uppercuts and he was able to take them. So I'm like, all right, cool. As long as he can take them, it hasn't looked like he's ever really been shook. He'd be cool. And then that happens, and it's a 1-punch knockout. We have to give him credit where credit is due. When they're putting him up against guys that he can beat, and he's mopping the floor with them, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. And this is the first I think major name that he's knocked out. Granted, it was at 130. He's said, Gervonta, that he's going to want to defend both belts at 130 and 135. So, he's got plenty of options. But yeah, I don't hear anybody calling out, Berchelt or anything like that at 130. So, he's one of the other, big hitters in the division. It seems like, from what I've heard, Mayweather say that they're planning one more fight before potentially a Teofimo Lopez fight. So it's like, all right, well, it's not going to happen till next year? Who the fuck knows if Teofimo's even going to be 5 next year?
Yeah, they're lying. Damn well Teofimo Lopez is not going to be at 135 next year. He already said he's not. He would do one more fight, maybe with Lomachenko, but he wanted to go to 140. They said that at the beginning of this Lomachenko, before Lomachenko fight was even over. So Floyd's full of shit. And then the whole, we're A-side, though, because, it's hard to sit down with Top Rank. He's full of shit. They're not A-side. We all know Teofimo Lopez is the new face right now. Now, listen, I don't think he's the favorite against everybody yet. I can't say that with the victory that he did against Lomachenko. But he's clearly the face right now of all these younger guys growing up. This young man, Davis, knocking out Santa Cruz. That didn't change it. There was no major news in the boxing world. I didn't get one phone call. You understand? There was no, oh my God, did you just see that? There was nothing. So, and then I'm telling you, where were the streamings? Where was the guys putting it out there, the fight out there, videotaping it with their camera phone? I mean, we literally got the highlight from ESPN.
Strong. You guys ready? We have more.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Lee, go ahead.
Naoya Inoue knocks out Bologna and retains the WBA IBF Bantamweight titles. Oh yeah, I said it. WBA IBF Bantamweight champion Naoya Inoue, 20-0, 17 KOs, scored an impressive 7th round knockout against Jason Bologna, 21-2 with 18 KOs, embarrassing all of Australia. Did you hear me, Sam? I'll say it again. Embarrassing all of Australia. In other news, AC/DC has a new single out, so Australia is coming back. On Saturday night inside the bubble at the MGM, which I did not go to for a rarity, a left hook floored Bologna in round 6. Inoue put Maloney down for the count with a crushing right hand in round 7. The time was 2:59. I did watch this on flights, Andrew. So let's start with Miguel this time. Miguel, what did you think of Jason Bologna being Bologna?
Well, I was hoping he'd put on a better performance. I thought he'll be able to go a little bit later into the fight. What was it, the 7th round? I think when he was ultimately knocked out. I mean, man, just like I know we shouldn't be surprised by Inoue's power now, but Jesus Christ, though, just the way, like, it doesn't even look like he loads up on his punches. I mean, and even still, they like jar Maloney's head back. It's like, man, holy shit. When he dropped him that first time, I was like, oh, and just the few times where he stunned him on before, like without actually going down, where he just stunned Maloney, I'm like, man, this is not going to last long. But I mean, Who else for fucking Inoue? I was hoping, it's sometimes that's how it happens. Someone comes out of nowhere with the person you least expect comes out and puts on a good performance against a big name. So I'm like, all right, I think Maloney's got this one. No, it didn't. It was an ass whooping. He really did mop the floor with him. And man, what can we say about Inoue's power? It's like, Jesus Christ. Who's next for Inoue?
Nobody. There's nobody left.
Right.
There's
nobody left.
Oh wait,
He's very good.
Wait, I'm being joined on the line. Hold on.
Oh.
Hello? Does this thing work? Hello? Did you see him? He upstaged those PVC pricks. I was out eating candy. I was trick-or-treating. I went as an old man. I killed myself. There's nobody left. We're going to retire him as the WBC Golden, Silver, Bronze, and Platinum all-time champion. Back to you, Fred.
Yeah, you might be right there. He's talking about a rematch with Nonito Donaire already, so
Hey,
there might.
It's all horseshit.
Yeah, I guess Donaire's in a big fight, fighting for a title. I'm forgetting who the other fighter was, but the fact that Inoue even said, if Nonito wins, he might look at fighting him again, kind of shows you where he's at in the division.
Yeah,
it's the only name in the division.
Yeah, he moves up one division, you guys. He has two undefeated Mexicans there, Luis Neri and Ray Vargas. And, those names, those could be big for him. He's also got, isn't Estrada right under him?
Yeah, 115.
That's
Estrada, Chocolatito. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge fight. Well, I'm hoping Estrada, I'm playing fan here. I'm hoping Estrada cleans out that division when he rematches Chocolatito on this next year or so, and then look for him and Inoue to have a huge fight if Inoue is able to have all 3 titles, and then you have Estrada moving up, basically clearing out the division in this decade. Literally would have beaten every man he faced, and he's faced all the top contenders it'd be a huge fight. That's the fight that I want to see, is Estrada Inoue. That's going to be huge for both.
There you go. Let's move forward. Let's go back to the Alamo Dome where I was. Hey, Andrew, you didn't watch this. WBA super lightweight champion Mario El Azteca Barrios successfully defended his title with a 6-round TKO over a very very subjective word. Ryan Cowboy Carl. By the way, I've watched. I was there. I saw this. He was not game, nor was he game, nor was anything about him game. It just means that he was a punching bag. Also on that same card, which you'll
wait, real fast. What's getting sad about this kid? This guy, Barrios, 26-0 and 17. He's in the super lightweight division, correct? Is that 140? Yeah. That's 140. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some heavy hitters there. What are they waiting for? There's guys in that division looking for opponents. Like, let's get Barrios out already. Come on, Heyman, do something with your 26-0 guy. If you guys look at his opposition, man, he's not fighting anyone. He's got to step up.
Bad records, Andrew.
He got to step up, man.
Deontay Wilder to literally go insane.
Fighting
I mean,
Broner in
it's-
January.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh.
How about Broner Wilder?
Hey, you think Al Heyman's calling Broner right now? Like, I got 800,000 for your next fight with a little
Yeah.
chuckle. With a little chuckle.
Yeah, right.
He's like, hear me out.
Hear me out.
Put
Hear
on
me out.
disclaimer.
Listen, Broner. I gotta fight.
Hey, I'm not a
needs a tune-up.
I'm not a bad man. I'll give you 825. I'll leave you a quarter.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll
For your
cover the
court fees. Come
taxes.
on.
All right, Miguel. What'd you think of Mario Barrios fighting Canelo? I'm not Canelo. Cowboy Carl.
Well, I mean, it was. I don't want to call it a mismatch, but it kind of was. It was Barrios who handled it from the very beginning. He wasn't ever really in trouble. I mean, he was kind of, what's his name? I'm trying to think of the other guy's name. Was this the other guy's name? Carl? Yeah, I've seen him fight before, and I was like, all right, yeah, I was expecting him to put on, a little bit better performance. He did land a few shots, on Barrios and kind of slap him a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't anything to where like Barrios was ever really concerned. Yes, he needs to step up his, the competition, which is actually what I'm sure you're going to scroll over to the next fight here momentarily. But
That's the one.
another 140 pounder
Yes.
who was, there. So that's something else. Potentially, that fight will be something. So before we even get to that fight, though, yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
No, I like that. I like it.
Let's talk about it. Regis Rogaru Progress. You remember him? He won the Super 8 or 12 or 16 or whatever the hell it was. He was there
Lost
at
to
the
Josh
end.
Lost to Taylor, correct?
Yep.
To Josh Taylor at the
Came
very
in the
end
finals. Yep.
of the tournament in the finals. Never was heard from. Then finally saw he was independent. Got signed by the PBC. He's back. So former super lightweight champion Regis Rogaru Prograis scored a third round TKO against the previously unbeaten Juan Heraldez, 16-1-1. 2 knockdowns in round 3, waved off after the second round. Second knockdown. So Rogaru is out there, right? So what they're basically setting up is Prograis versus Barrios.
I would buy that fight. I would
Okay.
literally buy that fight. That's a good fight. Those are both two cemented 140 pounders. Those guys are from the division. They're young, good records, good knockouts. That's a fight they need to make. Yeah, I like that one a lot. That would prove who Barrios really is, because Prograis is for reals.
Miguel.
Yeah. So like I was this guy Juan Heraldez, he's from here, he's from Vegas. I've seen him fight at Sam's down here several times. He's like a Mayweather guy. So I was like, okay, he's finally getting his big shot, because I've seen him fight a few times, so smaller cards. I see he's going to be on a pay-per-view. I'm like, oh shit. And then I see it's against Prograis. I'm like, oh fuck. Damn, they're really throwing you in the deep end. God damn it. So I was like, all right, well, let's see how he does. And then it doesn't turn out that well. So it's like, to Juan, if you're listening, keep your head up. I've interviewed him one time. He's a real down to earth dude. It sucks that he got smoked like this by Prograis, but nonetheless, Prograis did prove why he's one of the best 140 pounders in the world.
World class. Yeah.
Business. From what I've read, he actually came to this fight, knocked out Heraldez, then drove home to see the birth of his kid. So it's like one night he just drove, got the fight, took off, and had a kid. So it's like, holy shit. Hats off to Prograis. I expect big things. It sucks that he didn't win that super series against Josh Taylor, but he's still very, very relevant. Still one of the top guys at 140. I expect to hear his name a lot more.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Lee.
Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, did we lose Lee?
We might have lost Lee. Lee, where you at? If not, we're gonna go in 3, 2,
Oh,
1.
shut up.
There you go.
I'll redo the same intro I just did a second ago.
Okay.
What started off as a fight has now turned into a deadly tragedy, as Alexander Usyk, who was in a fight for 2 rounds, then went on for the next 10 rounds to beat the ever-loving shit out of a much larger Derek Chisora. So let me reframe this for everybody. I'm minding my own business at the Alamo Dome, having a good time, Rogarooing it up, as they say. When I start to read the text from you guys and I think, oh, I should jump on the computer and see what they're talking about. Because Andrew and Miguel are now going, oh, that's a close round. Oh, that's a close round. This is a real fight. when I jumped on in round 3, all I saw from 3 to 12 was Alexander Usyk apparently getting tired of boxing in the first 2 rounds, beating the shit out of Derek Chisora. He beat him like he owed him money. Now, the only thing that my takeaway on this was, I don't think Derek Chisora has as big a chin as it looked on Saturday night. What I took away from it was Alexander Usyk doesn't have knockout power at heavyweight. That's my takeaway from it. But man, he beat the shit out of him. I mean, those final rounds were almost criminal. I mean, he was teeing the hell off on him. So I'll start with you, Andrew.
I had Usyk winning the fight. I had him taking the late rounds. But Lee, honestly, this is a man with 10 defeats, been knocked out numerous times. It wasn't supposed to go 12. There's a lot more questions than answers after this fight. Usyk's still one of the best. He showed the boxing skills. He showed the accurate punching. Very good boxer. That's what I just kept writing over and over. There was really nothing else to say. He has that. But he's a heavyweight. The men that he's about to fight are 6'7", 330 pounds or more. I mean, Tyson Fury was like 360 or something his last fight. Wasn't he? Didn't Tyson Fury come in 350, 360 in the rematch with
400
Wilder?
pounds, at least.
No, hey, Lee, he was big, man. He's big. He's big.
He was against
Usyk is not big at all.
Klitschko.
No.
When he fought Klitschko, he was like a blob.
Yes, but not again. I'm talking about Wilder. He looked in shape. He looked huge.
In shape, he's
it was like 260 and shit like that. Something up there.
Right in there. Yeah. I agree with that.
So I just don't know what the hell Usyk's gonna do when he gets to those guys. And I think he wins everything else. Well, you're talking about the best of the heavyweights. I didn't see that Saturday. He took a lot of punches. He was able to be wrapped up because Chisora kind of owned him on the inside. And Tyson Fury and Joshua are going to do a lot of that to him if he's a smaller man who can't move them. Lennox would have done the same thing. So there's just a lot more questions. It was a great fight. I was entertained. But I am not looking at the future. In my opinion, from that performance, I'm not looking at the future of the heavyweight division.
Miguel.
I unfortunately the answers or the questions that we had for him in his first heavyweight bout weren't answered here. He did look. I mean, it looked like he kind of sort of played it safe, and what I mean by that is he moved around a lot, and he wasn't willing to to trade, which is fine. He's a smaller guy, he's quicker. He doesn't necessarily have to, but we were expecting a little bit more out of Usyk, at least in the terms of like, okay, can he hang with the top heavyweights? You can tell there are a few times that Chisora landed some shots that they really kind of like moved him and jolted him, not really stunned him, but just like almost like he's just a smaller mass of a guy, and I don't think Usyk really wanted to exchange. So when you're on your toes, you kind of sacrifice power for speed. You do the speed, you do the pity pat shit, you land, and I don't think he was really putting any behind him, but I like too much heat behind those punches. So I do still think he can hit harder than what we saw against Chisora. He just hasn't proven that yet because this was, I think, his first real heavyweight, and he was like, let me just play it safe. It's one of those things where win this one, look good on the next one. So, and that's ultimately what he did here. It just unfortunately didn't answer the questions that we still have. It just kind of feels like the questions are still kind of lingering. Is he going to be able to do this against somebody like AJ or someone like Fury, guys who can, honestly, like Chisora a few times had him like cornered, and it just didn't seem like he was able to muscle him into the corner and keep him there, use his weight, in other words. I'm pretty sure Fury can do that. It doesn't, just stylistically, I don't think it's going to be good for Usyk against Fury. But it's just, unfortunately, there's still a lot of answers out there that we were hoping to get answered, or a lot of questions out there that we're hoping to get answered against Chisora, and they just weren't.
Conditioning wise, Chisora is garbage, and it showed the whole fight.
He was running out of gas big time.
He was running like every round. He would throw like 7 punches and then take 2 minutes off. That's not going to happen as he moves up in the ranks. You're going to get guys that can stay steady for 12 rounds, go 12-round fights. I still have him, listen, Deontay Wilder and Usyk should fight at some point if Tyson Fury and that's with what I said, him seeing a therapist and getting cleared. but what they should that's a great fight for him. It would test his chin, right? Wilder probably one of the hardest hittings, if not the hardest hitting heavyweight in the division. And Usyk and the size is not that off. That's a great fight for Usyk and them. I would be leaning towards that. I just didn't like. Another thing, I thought he got nervous with the punching power. You talked about him backpedaling. That was a great point. I have that a lot in my notes where, some call it boxing, others call it running. The guy was on the backpedal a lot in the middle rounds. And I think the first 3 rounds kind of got to him. Chisora really put his power behind some of those punches. Totally gassed himself out for the next 8 rounds or so. But, and for those, few first rounds, he was bringing it hard, hitting him to the body, hitting him to the head. You seen the announcer, everyone was getting nervous. Like, they didn't want the guy with 10 defeats to come out with the victory in this fight. We've already had one heavyweight fight get thrown away, and that's the Dillian White getting his clock cleaned by Povetkin. So they didn't need that again in the heavyweight division. Usyk won, he moves on. Got to be a little bit careful. Got to see they need a little bit more tests before they throw them in with the big guys. That's where I go.
Okay, that was good. One more fight from Saturday night. Female junior lightweight Michaela Mayer won the WBO women's title with a 10-round unanimous decision over champion Ua Brodnicka. And for those of you keeping record, no, Michaela didn't make any money. She was approved for food stamps after the fight. She still should do Playboy. I think that's her best chance at making some money. Let's move on to Friday night, and there's one more fight to discuss here, other than Man shining in his pro debut. I don't know why everybody was talking about Man. Like, that was like a thing. But let's talk about Jaime Munguia. Former WBO junior middleweight champion Jaime Munguia, 36-0, 29 KOs, scored a 6-round TKO against Turano Johnson, 21-3 and 1 with 15 knockouts on Friday night at Fantasy Springs in Indio, California. I'm delighted by the victory, said Munguia. He surprised us early in the fight. Who's we? Who? Us. Who's us? Like us. Like us. I hate it when fighters do the us. Oh, it surprised us. He came out and actually boxed. We weren't expecting that. We went to a fight expecting a fight to break out, not a boxing match. He surprised us early in the fight. He has a style that makes it very uncomfortable. But my corner told me to adjust and find my distance. Then I found the right uppercut. All right, let's talk about Jaime Munguia, who still hasn't had the defining moment in his career yet. Basically, he's just the WBO junior middleweight champion. And for those of you who are ranking and power ranking the belts, the WBO is definitely the redheaded stepchild of the 4 belts. All right, Andrew, Jaime Munguia.
Listen, I think if you went back into our archives and pulled up video or audio of when Munguia was 23-0, I think I told you guys back then it's time for Golden Boy to fight this guy with someone big. He's not getting any better. And 36-0, I'm still saying it. He's not getting any better. It's like Golden Boy is waiting for him to be like Barrera and come out and start boxing. He's not. He's a slugger, face burst, takes a lot of punches, has no defense. Get him in the ring with someone, start making some money for this kid, or he's going to be worn out before they ever get him in with Triple G. Didn't like the fight at all. Very nervous throughout this whole fight. You can't, I like telling my son to look after fighters, remember how they fight, remember what you're seeing. Nothing on Munguia did I want I was like, hey, go play with toys. Don't even watch this shit. This guy, he's letting this dude Johnson just walk him down, beat him. It looked like he was going to fall in some of the rounds. I was real nervous. De La Hoya needs to cut him loose, man. And I don't mean like cut him loose, like don't promote him. They got to get him the Triple G fight. If he wins that, you got to get him the Alvarez fight. This kid's brain is not going to be intact that long, much longer, the way he's fighting these these guys while he's up and coming. Too many wars, too many of He got really lucky, you guys, on that uppercut, cutting Johnson's lip. I think he was starting to fold mentally. Now, I know they were talking about it, but you could see the body language of Mungai. He did not know how to keep Johnson off of him. His regular, power wasn't doing it. And it just started looking scary. The uppercut lands, the fucking lip splits right open. They had to stop the fight. He got really lucky. If I'm De La Hoya, I'm looking for Triple G in his next fight. They got to get this kid in numerous pay-per-view fights or big-time matches. Make him some money. If he wins, he wins. If he don't, at least you made him some money before. He's going to get hit one day, and his brain he's just not going to react like he is right now. He's got 36 professional fights. I bet you all of them have been wars.
And Miguel.
Well, to piggyback off of that, when I first saw Munguia, naturally I'm Latino, so of course I'm going to want to cheer Latinos. But when we don't see fighters improve over time, it's alarming. We were hoping that training with Morales was going to change something.
Yes.
It's going to teach him a little bit more defense. We're like, okay, now there's something here. So it's like when we see, Chavez Jr. and Chavez Jr. goes to like Freddie Roach, and it's like, oh shit, okay, cool. They're going to learn something. And we see the same motherfucker in the ring. It's like, okay, what's going on? Where is he not picking this up? Because it seemed like Johnson could not miss a right hand. They were in that clinch, and he would throw that right hand, and even Munguia tried to duck, or try to like almost shoulder roll, and it wasn't working for shit. It was like Johnson would throw the punch where he thought Munguia's head was going to be, and it was there every single time. It's like, all right, dude, you can't just like, it's not this Nick Diaz thing where your defense is your chin. That's not the point. Block the shots, get out of the way of the shots. And he was landing that uppercut quite frequently. I'm talking about Munguia on Johnson, and it was just that last one that split open his lip. He won. So whatever. He comes off another victory, but it's alarming when we're not seeing him improve. That's the reason we love the Marquezes and the Finito Lopezes and the Chavez Seniors, and we see even Canelo with his defense improving over the course of his career. That when that improvement, it's like, oh yeah, he's hit the next step. Man, he's they fought for the Intercontinental WBO something. So point is, he's got himself a WBO belt, some version of it, and the legit champion is Andrade, however the shit you want to pronounce her last name. So it's like, all right, that fight seems logical. All right, I'm down for that fight, but even then, it's like I'm still concerned. He's still getting hit with shots that he shouldn't be being hit with, and it's alarming when we're not seeing that sort of improvement 30 some odd fights into his career.
Yeah, he's got to go after Triple G. He's got to go. I don't want him fighting.
That feels like it's slammed to the slaughter, man. It's just like without that defense, Jesus.
At least gives him a shot. Andrade might stand behind his jab and kill this kid in 5 rounds. Like this guy's got no. If he can't stop a right hand, you don't want to fight a guy like Andrade. Andrade. You'd rather fight. You would rather. The Andrade don't even sound right. I'm gonna say Andrade, but Triple G, at least he goes in and will mix it up with you. He's vulnerable to getting punched, right? Like he's older. He's
yeah.
I'm really, if I'm Oscar, you got to do this kid a favor here and get him a big money. He's giving you 36 fights. He's undefeated. Nothing looks to be. He's not taking in anything off of these 36 fights, other than the fact that when he hits you, you fall or you get hurt, and he wins. That's all this kid is doing. Yeah, I was nervous. I didn't think he was going to win, you guys. I really didn't. Even when he was coming, even in the 6th round, before the cut, I was agreeing with the telecast or the commentators thinking his body language is not looking good. One thing I kept saying, Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley would be having a freaking love fest with he needs to get his head off the line. He needs to get his head's in the line. That's all they would be saying all night with Mungai. How do you say his name?
Munguia.
Sorry. Munguia. There you go. I hope I get to remember it. Go ahead, Lee.
Hey, everybody, go to Fight Net Radio on social media. We'll have a double action-packed show with the news we didn't catch this week. We wanted to catch up on the fights and the breaking stories, but I hate to do it to you all. We're going to cut it right here and get you guys primed up for Sunday when we can have lots of time to cover. I got a WBC story about Dillian White that fucking hurt my heart. So there's your little teaser for Sunday, but let's just say the WBC found a new way to fuck Dillian White again, even though he lost his #1 contendership. But here's a hint. They gave a belt to the guy who beat him. right, I gotta go. I got a meeting. That's Andrew Labouche. That's Miguel Antonio Berga. My name's Lee Honish. Thank you, everybody, for listening.